Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from India, where I hook up with Dimitris Manikis, who's the president for Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. He logs in from London. I'm from Delhi, and this is the next edition of the BW Hotelier Dialogue Series. Right. Welcome to the show, Dimitris.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. Both of us dialing from hundreds of miles away or thousands of miles away, but still managing to do this. This is spectacular. Hello to you and your viewers.
And we were supposed to meet on ground in Delhi today.
And we were supposed to be meeting today, but time will come again. Time will come again.
Sure, we'll see you soon again.
Yes. God bless.
Dimitris has a long-standing career and deep knowledge of the hospitality industry. In his current role as the president for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, he is responsible for the development of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, the entire range of brands that they carry for the region, as well as maximizing the performance of all new and existing franchise and managed hotels. He focuses on driving the strategic objectives of Wyndham, including quality, technology solutions, as well as new businesses, loyalty, sales, and marketing. A Greek that he is, a lot to take from the historic figure that we all know, Socrates, right? And he shall let us know more about that soon. But this Greek now lives in London, right?
True.
Wyndham Hotels and Resorts is the world's largest hotel franchising company with 8,900 hotels. Shall we count them to 9,000 soon?
Yeah, it is interesting. First of all, it's lovely to be here with you, and at the same time, talking about Socrates. An interesting thing about Socrates, he actually said a lot of things, but he never wrote anything. It was his pupils that carried his wisdom, and I find that this fascinating. This man actually said so many things and hasn't actually written anything. But going back to Wyndham, we're a great success story. We are the world's biggest franchisor, as you said, 8,900 hotels, 90 countries, 20 amazing brands. And are we going to get into 9,000? I mean, we at some point we were signing up 2 hotels a day or opening up 2 hotels a day. We've got a great set of brands. We've got a great group of people that is out there signing deals as we speak. So I'm very confident that very soon not only we're going to get to the 9,000, but we're gonna pass that by miles. It is important at today's world that the team is out there actually doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, promoting hospitality.
And so the count of rooms that I have for Wyndham all over the world is just 4,000 shy of 800,000 rooms. Is that right? 706,000 rooms?
Yep. But those things, thank God, as I said, we've got a great team, and those things change every day,
Yeah.
To the positive.
So tell me, Dimitris, how has your experience been thus far in your current role as the president for Europe, Middle East, and Africa?
I think that we keep on missing Eurasia, and it's Europe, Middle East, Eurasia, and Africa. And that's the Eurasia part, which is the interesting part, because that's in your part of the world. That's the Indian subcontinent. So it has been overwhelming. It has been an amazing experience. I have the pleasure and the honor to work for a company that has enormous values, has a great group of people, and has an amazing set of brands. I mean, if you look at the 20 brands that we have and the presence that we have in all over the world, I think the job has actually given me a lot of opportunities to learn. I've been in hospitality. I've traveled like yourself. I've traveled. I lived in various parts of the world. But the people that I've met the last 3 years that I've been with Wyndham Hotels and Resorts is just incredible. Incredible journeys, incredible people, and a great amount of success. The success not just on a personal level, but on a company level. So for me, it has always been a learning game. You never stop learning, and I've learned so much the last 3 years that I've been with Wyndham Hotels. Is just a remarkable story. So I'm really blessed to be here. Really blessed.
Oh, that's so. Why don't you tell me about the entire region that you cover?
It has a very yeah, sometimes I try to explain to my US colleagues that we've got 45 countries, so many different languages and religions and currencies, and they live in a world that they have one currency and one language, literally, or two. I think the diversity of the region is what makes it extremely exciting. You've got Europe, which is a far more mature market. You've got the UAE, or the Middle East market, which has so many differences. You've got Eurasia, the Indian Peninsula. There's so many exciting things happening in your part of the world. And then you've got the African continent. It's just such a diverse region, and so many things that you can learn every single day that makes it overwhelming. I would say the word overwhelming is how I feel. Sometimes I get all our team members together, and it's like the United Nations. Literally, you get on a Zoom call with our team members, and it's literally like the United Nations, and that makes this job so exciting and so rewarding.
So tell me, 20 brands, and they are split across 6 categories. Well, that is impressive and can be a huge growth driver for your company and region per se. It is Ramada that is driving Wyndham as the engine of growth in its foray here. Let us hear from you your plans and vision to take to our viewers here now for the full power of Wyndham.
Yeah.
Wyndham's 20, as we call it. It would be good to hear from you and the significance of the region as you drive growth.
Okay, it's first of all, we've been blessed to have a great growth in the Indian subcontinent, especially in India. Ramada is definitely growing fastest. Is definitely driving our growth. We are very keen and we are looking aggressively into the budget sector. We've got some amazing budget brands like Days Inn and Super 8. I think India is ready, and we've seen the examples, is ready for us to bring those 2 brands into the country. And at the same time, one of the key things for India is for people to discover the incredible India. Our job is not just to put another brand or to add another hotel. Our job as Wyndham is to introduce India to the 85 or 86 million Wyndham Rewards members that we have, and at the same time make sure that the 25 million Indians, the outbound industry, that they travel abroad, they actually stay at one of our properties when they travel. Connect. You see, for us, it's not just about putting another sign on a hotel or putting another sign in front of somebody's door. It's actually connect our community and do the best or our duty of care for the destination. We believe in India. We have a great team in Gurgaon in India, and we have some amazing owners that they have trusted our brands. We just want to welcome more. We just want to bring more people into the Wyndham brands and make sure that people understand what exactly is our future plans for India. And I can tell you, for your viewers and for everybody, it's very simple. Grow, not just for growing purposes, but actually meaningful growth. At the same time, introduce India, incredible India, to our 86 million Wyndham Rewards members. And at the same time, make sure that when people travel outside of India, they actually stay at a brand that they can trust. And that's the Wyndham brand or the Wyndham brands. That's in a nutshell, that's our growth plan for India.
Oh, excellent. Your organization in India is in good hands with Nikhil, He's a young, happening, thinking, extremely passionate and energetic young man.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Right?
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yep. So he's obviously taking the places, and I've seen he's never ruffled. Having said that, what in your view is Wyndham's challenge and achievement thus far?
The challenge is very simple. It's a vast country. You need resources. So resources are absolutely key. Eyes that you don't see, you easily forget. You need people to knock on doors. So resources and finding the right resources is important. We've got a great leader in Nikhil, and beneath Nikhil, we've got a great team that actually covers all the aspects of hospitality. Focus for us has been India, so we need to make sure that we spread our focus into the Indian subcontinent, so include Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, these amazing destinations. But for India in particular, it's make sure that we increase the brand awareness, make sure that we continue to provide value to our owners so they can stay with us and bring more on board. Make sure that our message is clear. Sometimes, you've got 20 brands. What does that mean? Make sure that people understand what the message of Wyndham is and what the values of Wyndham. And I have to say, I always believed brands are not just a sign on somebody's door. I said it a number of times. It's the values, it's the culture, is the fact that you bring relationships that people can trust you. And at the same time, you need to make sure, and the pandemic has shown this to us, that you are there every single time of the day doing the best that you can for your owners. This is the number one message that needs to go out. And I'm so proud that every single person of Wyndham, I said to my team repeatedly, just pick up the phone, say thank you, or how are you doing today, or how can I help? You won't believe how far this goes, especially at times of distress and at times of we're all tested. These were the times that we will all need to get counted. And that is our promise to our owners. That is not just another sign on the wall. It's not that's just another brand. It's the value and the DNA that we bring into the relationship as well.
True. I keep coming back to India, right? I mean, you obviously, as the head of your business, would give, if not your right hand, at least a few fingers to tap into a happening country of 1.3 billion, right?
Yep.
Where do you find that one big country, which has got all the faiths, it's got perhaps all the languages, right? It's also got all the people, right? I mean, if you were to cut and slice our population by virtue of affordability and your target audience, you have roughly about 350 to 400 million people inbound or outbound, right? I mean, domestic or outbound,
yes,
who you can tap into, and that is many times over the population of most countries and more than the population of the United States of America. Having said that, how exciting is the Indian market for Wyndham, and which brands do you think will perform well over here? Why and when?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's an interesting question. So, the excitement, I had the pleasure of living in India for a year and a half back in 1993 in Bangalore, and I learned so much. And you know what you said at the beginning, I am Greek. There's so many similarities between our culture and your culture, and the excitement, the passion, the empathy, and the commitment. I've always fighting with Nikhil whose civilization was first, the Indian or the Greek, and we ended up fighting for somebody else's cause. But I will answer your question. So I believe that the majority of the brands on our economy and budget sector, they have a great future in India. I'm very bullish about our, as I said earlier, about our Days Inn and Super 8 brands, because I believe they have a great offering for the budget and the economy space in India. I am very bullish about the 350 million middle class of Indians, that they will eventually, at some point, a portion of them or a percentage will actually travel abroad. So I believe that instead of just looking at the inbound or the domestic market, we have to think about the outbound market. Indian startups, Indian technology, Indian pharmaceuticals, India heavy industry is becoming far more important in the world today than ever before, and we see that every day. I was really surprised to see so many global CEOs being of Indian origin, and I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job in exporting the Indian culture and the way of life. So am I excited about India? Absolutely yes. Am I? When is it going to happen? You need to be careful. And this is important. Everybody would say, oh, you know what, I want to grow, I don't know, 30-40% in 1 year. You need to be careful, because we're not growing for growth sake. We're growing because we add value and because we care about what we do. So for me, duty of care is absolutely important. What is your duty of care as a brand and as a business? What are you going to do in order to make sure, instead of just signing up hotels and growing, you actually make sure that you actually deliver the value proposition? To me, that is very important. I think the next 2-3 years are going to be very critical. The world looks like a different place. We all change the way we travel. Corporate travel is going to be different. So I believe that from a Wyndham perspective, we are just getting ready to address those opportunities and those challenges in the future. And an optimist is a guy, I think Winston Churchill said that, is a guy who sees opportunities in difficulties. And this is what Wyndham has been doing all along. We keep on seeing the opportunities, and we keep on addressing the challenges. As long as we keep on doing this, and I'm confident that we are, the future of our brands and our business in India is absolutely great. I'm extremely confident about it. And because you did ask me when, I believe the next 2-3 years, you're going to see a lot of changes happening, and those who are part of the change, they're going to be the ones who are going to take pick up the right fruits at the right time.
True. South Asia is happening, really. I mean, what we call locally, we call it SAARC, the region, right? I think there's a lot of hope, a lot of positivity. I mean, you can start from Nepal, get into Bhutan, get into Myanmar. Yes, there are hiccups, but they'll come out of it. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives. I don't know what's your presence in Afghanistan. I think you have 1 or 2 properties in Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah. So so all these businesses are happening. Having said that, India is a very exciting place, and I wear my country on my sleeve, right? With pride. We'll come back to your stay in 1993 for a year and a half. We'll come towards the end of the interview. Said that you handle a fairly large region. If I was to ask you, Dimitris, how would you stack the various parts of your portfolio, as in geographies? How would you stack them?
Oh wow! It's like asking which child is your favorite one. Depending on who's in front of you, you're gonna answer the question accordingly. I'll tell you.
Still your children.
Okay, yeah, they're still. Look, as I said, I'm excited about the whole region. Allow me though to talk about India in particular, not because I'm talking to an Indian population, but because I truly believe this. I believe that the opportunities in India, because of the things that are happening in your country and as I said, in the Indian subcontinent, I believe that they hold a far brighter future for all of us. And people will talk to you about the UAE, and they mention Dubai or the mature markets of Europe or the growing nature of Africa. They're all valid. They're all valid comments. They're all exciting industries, exciting countries, exciting places to be. In India in particular, though, I believe that the combination of entrepreneurship, you have so many startups happening in India, the fact that, you export talent, the creation of talent in India and the education is just phenomenal. And at the same time, the vast cultural differences among the country. We tend to talk about India, but it's not just India. There are many different countries within India, aren't they? Every region almost has its own values and its own. This gives you an enormous diversity and opportunity to explore things, not just from a business perspective, but personally as well. So I don't view India as one country. I view India as many different countries that multiply those countries with the opportunities. It makes it a mind-blowing opportunity for the future. You know what? I want to do justice to Europe. I want to do justice, as I said, to the Middle East and all the great things that are happening in Africa. Here, what I see in India, is one country, but really having, 10 countries or 12 countries within one country. That actually multiplies the opportunity. That's why we're so excited. It's not just, people think, it's the population, it's the 1.2 billion. No, it's not the population. It's actually the diversity within the country that allows all these opportunities to actually flourish, not just for us, for any other hospitality brand. And you've got some amazing local brands that everybody is so proud of. And something that last thing from me on this is the export of talent. You have created in hospitality so much talent. There are so many general managers, sales and marketing guys, ops people in so many hotels around the world that are of Indian origin. You have managed to create a pool of talent that actually makes a difference for hospitality, and we should never forget that. That to me is what I see as the opportunity of the future.
Talent. India has no dearth of talent, right? We've exported some of the finest CXOs. I mean, if you were to look around the entire global tech space, more often than not, you'll find all those companies being headed by Indians, not just Microsoft, Adobe, Google, right, or MasterCard, or Pepsi. You've got them all. So you've got those guys sitting in the right place. Dimitris, 2020 has not been very easy, right? We've seen pot boilers from Hollywood. Not even Steven Spielberg would have come out with such a script, right? It's been one hell of a washout. Imagine when we couldn't even shake hands. We needed to cover our faces. We couldn't get out of our homes. It's been a washout, right? But let me tell you, the world has faced this pandemic really well. I mean, really stoically well. Coming back to Wyndham, how have you been able to salvage some of your deliverables? And do you think the virus and the vaccine have played different roles? And will the vaccine help to inject some hope in the field of tourism and hospitality?
Wow. What we have done, one of the things that we've done quite relatively quickly, I remember Eva and the rest of my team in Hammersmith in London when, it was, I think, the 13th of March, 2020, when we said we're going to close the office and see each other in 2 weeks. Because nobody thought that it's going to take longer than that. And here we are a year later and we still haven't met physically. One of the things that we actually did, and with hindsight is a great thing. We actually understood very quickly that this is not going to be just 2 weeks. This is going to be a far longer. So, and when we sat down as a business, we said, okay, what are the key things that we have to do to go through this? And the survival of our owners was our number one priority. The safety of our guests and the safety of our own team members. But the duty of care, and I keep on going back to the duty of care, sometimes we do forget what is our duty as a business. Our duty as a business is to look after our teams, look after our owners, and make sure that they go through and they survive with you. Because I keep on telling people, there's no franchise business without franchisees. You need your owners to survive. So we've taken some really hard measures to support our franchisees. We've taken a lot of difficult measures for a business to make sure that they stay alive. We protected our own liquidity. We protected our teams. We closed our offices. We stay all working from home. One day we were in the office. The next day we were on a Zoom platform. So all of these things we've taken with one thing in mind, that there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. That there will be a day that people will shake hands again. There will be a day that people will travel again, and it's happening. It's actually happening. Our CEO Jeff Ballotti he was on CNBC a couple of days ago, and he was talking about the occupancies in the U.S. There are weekends that occupancies are reaching 80% and 85%, and you see the pictures from Florida and Texas. People are traveling. The vaccine is going to help. What we need to do, though, is never forget the lessons we learned. We learned a lot of things in 2020 on a personal level, on a corporate level, on a relationship level. We shouldn't go back being exactly who we were a year ago. We should all remember the lessons that we learned, and we need to make sure that we change our behavior, if I can say, in order to not allow things that we've done before 2020 to just repeat themselves. And never, people say never let a crisis go wasted, and I'm a strong believer of that. We learned so many things the past 12 months that we should never forget them. We should make them part of our lives. Saying thank you, pick up the phone and talk to people. The importance of family time, the importance of keeping your business afloat, the safety of your guests, the economic relief that you support your franchisees with. As I said, pick up the phone and say thank you. These are things that we should never forget. But that's my big lesson.
Some of the lessons your guests have picked are not very good for you.
Look,
the lessons the guests have picked up is that you can work without traveling.
Yeah, but you know what? I remember, if you read the history books, I remember when human beings were living in cages and were living in caves and they didn't socialize and they only traveled for food. I don't think these days are going to come back again. People want to meet. People want to meet families. People want to go and shake hands. I am very social interaction, no matter how great Zoom is or any other online platform. People want to go and sit at a restaurant and have a nice meal and be served by a smiling waiter. I don't think that these things will ever go away. And I'm looking forward personally, as you said at the beginning, we were supposed to have this meeting or this conversation face to face today in Delhi over a cup of coffee, shaking hands and smiling from across the table with each other. You know what? This is great. We're still doing it, but it can never replace. It can never replace. Exactly.